Nichelle. And today's case, we are going to be talking about Ruby Franke, the child abuser YouTube star who was arrested. I spelled the arrested wrong. But anyway, she was arrested and on child abuse charges. Apparently, she has been, here is the links. So apparently, she has been abusing her children while on camera. And I'm surprised that it took this long for people to come forward because you can clearly tell that she's abusing them on camera, but no one's doing anything about it. And I hate to bring the race card into it, but you know it's because she's a white woman, a blonde white woman. They was not going to bring child abuse charges against her. But finally, so many people spoke up, and now we're to this. So I wanted to speak. Now she is in court for her plea hearing. I want to see. That's her business partner, Jody. And she pleaded guilty to child abuse 9 days ago. Oh my God. There's so much to look at on here. Okay, so we are going to start from the beginning. Start from the beginning because I want all of the tea. All of the tea. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Where can we go back that has... Okay, we're going to look at this one first. No, this one. It was 2 weeks ago. Let me see. Because, wow. Well, you already know about the case. We're going to talk about... First, I want to see what her Jody is up to.
Oh my God, here we go.
See what Jody's up to. Because she... Let's see.
Sounds great.
She's crying. She wasn't crying when she was abusing children. It's always funny whenever somebody gets in trouble because they're doing the wrong thing and then they want to cry about it. But you knew what you was doing was wrong in the first place. But then you're going to cry about it. Don't cry about it. You did it. Suck it up. I'm on the other screen so I can see it. Yes, this is really how court is. I got to sit in the court before. So, yes, this is how court really is. Quiet for a while. I don't know why she's crying. You wasn't crying before. the static that you're hearing in there is not like my camera or anything. It's in the courtroom. So whenever the lawyers all go talk to the judge, they'll play the static so that you won't hear anything from the recordings or anything. You can't hear what they're discussing or anything like that. Or the jury can't hear what they're discussing, or the other lawyers can't hear what they're discussing, or yeah, nobody can hear what they're doing.
The court in Washington County, State of Utah, now in session. The Honorable John G. Walton presiding. You may be seated.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to District Court. We are here this morning in the matter of State of Utah versus Jody Hildebrandt, case 231501763. Mr. Clark and Mr. Shaw are representing the state of Utah. Mr. Terry is here with Ms. Hildebrandt. We are scheduled for a waiver of preliminary hearing. Mr. Terry, appears you have just handed the court a signed plea agreement.
That is correct, Your Honor. With respect to the waiver, Ms. Hildebrandt, we have had discussions. She fully understands the purpose of a preliminary hearing, what the burden of proof would be, and that she has the right to a preliminary hearing, but in conjunction with the entry of her plea today, we waive the preliminary hearing.
And in fact, there is a provision in the written plea agreement that operates as a waiver of the preliminary hearing. All right. Ms. Hildebrandt, I've been handed a written document, a plea agreement with your signature on it. Did you sign that document?
Yes.
And you did that to represent to the court that you have read the document carefully, that you understand what you've read, that you agree to all of the terms that are set forth in that written document?
Yes, sir.
You've had sufficient time to ask Mr. Terry any questions that you have about the agreement or its potential effect?
Yes.
Is anyone pressuring you to enter into this agreement, or is anyone promising you anything that I haven't been told about or that is not in the written document?
No.
Are you under the influence of alcohol or drugs today?
No.
Is there anything today that could interfere in any way with your ability to understand the agreement, its potential consequences?
No.
No physical condition, mental health, or emotional condition, nothing that could interfere with your present ability to evaluate the agreement and decide if it's what you're prepared to do today?
No.
You don't need more time, you're ready to go.
Yes.
Any further record, counsel?
Your Honor, the agreement contains a factual basis. There are a few details in the factual basis that we are not in full agreement with. However, this is a guilty plea. It is not an Alford plea. The factual basis sets forth facts that we agree with, that Ms. Hildebrandt agrees with, that are sufficient for the court to accept her plea with respect to the 4 counts to which she is pleading guilty. And so we ask the court to accept her plea agreement.
And apart from what is in the written factual base in the plea agreement, you have, I'm assuming, reviewed voluminous discovery. You don't dispute whether there is an actual or an adequate factual basis.
We do not.
All right, then. Anything else before the court receives Ms. Hildebrandt's pleas?
No, Your Honor.
Nothing for the state, Your Honor.
Then, Ms. Hildebrandt, how do you plead to count 1, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
And to count 3, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
To count 5, aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
And to count 6, also aggravated child abuse, a second-degree felony?
Guilty.
The court finds that there is a sufficient factual basis. The court, in addition, finds that Ms. Hildebrandt's pleas are made knowingly and voluntarily. The court therefore accepts and enters those pleas, dismisses the remaining 2 counts. We are anticipating a PSI, although part of the plea agreement appears to be that Ms. Hildebrandt will not contest a prison sentence.
Correct.
Is that right?
That is correct. But we are asking for a PSI.
All right, then the court orders the preparation of a pre-sentence investigation report and sets sentencing at 10:30 a.m. on February 20th. Anything else for today, counsel?
Nothing from us, Your Honor.
Nothing from us, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. We'll be in recess.
Thank you, Your Honor.
That's crazy. Okay, so here is Ruby Franke pleading guilty on Monday for 4 counts of second-degree
Step into
aggravated
Rick's
assault.
studio, where creative
Aggravated,
freedom
I don't
meets
know why I said
absolute.
assault. Aggravated child abuse charges.
Court is now back in session.
So this is Ruby Franke.
Good morning. Welcome to District Court. We're here in the matter of State of Utah versus Franke, case number 231501764. Mr. Winward is here representing Ms. Franke. Let's bring her out. And Mr. Clark and Mr. Sham are here representing the state of Utah. Ms. Franke is now here.
How is she standing there
Mr.
smiling?
Winward, we are scheduled for a waiver hearing. Is there going to be a waiver today?
There will, plus a plea agreement, Your Honor.
All right.
I'll ask the bailiff to hand you if it's been executed.
All right. Mr. Winward, you have discussed with Ms. Franke a preliminary hearing, what's involved in a preliminary hearing. She understands she has a right to a preliminary hearing on all of the charges in the case. She understands what the charges are, and she's prepared to waive a preliminary hearing in the case on all charges.
She is, and that is contained in this agreement on page 7 as well.
Very good. All right. I've been handed a
So I want to do a little background, give you all a little background on Ruby Franke and what she did and what she, what she's known for. So Ruby Franke, she's an American former family vlogger, and you may know her as 8 Passengers. So there's her and her ex-husband, and then her children. And on August 30th, 2023, she was arrested in Washington County, Utah, and charged with 6 counts of aggravated child abuse under Utah law, 4 counts of which she pleaded guilty to. So she pleaded guilty to 4 of the 6 counts of aggravated child abuse. She has 6 children. Okay. And the child abuse went on from 2020 to 2023 when she was finally arrested. Her oldest daughter, I think is named Sherry Franke. She doesn't really speak on what happened, but she has her Instagram. But it seems like she's fairly moving on with her life and doing well in her life, and I hope her other children are as well. It's sad how a mother can do that. So Jody is her business partner, and Jody was also abusing children. I think her niece came forward and told her story about how she was abused by her aunt and how everybody was throwing it under the rug and stuff like that. I don't like child abuse, obviously. I'm a huge child abuse advocate. And I mean, what person in the right mind would support child abuse? No one. But anyway, Ruby Franke deserves to go to prison. I don't understand why she walks in court smiling. Why would you walk in court smiling when you're an abuser? It's sick. And I hope her husband has custody of the kids now. And I really don't like it that the husband, I don't know what went on there. I don't know their private life or anything, but it always has me thinking, was the husband scared of her? Why didn't the husband say anything? Did the husband know? Did the kids tell their dad? Like, why wasn't he involved in this. Like, I just don't get it. I don't get what kind of man wouldn't stand up for their kids. Not saying that he didn't, but I don't know the story, but obviously he didn't if they were abused, you know? I just don't know. The whole situation is sticky with him. I don't know. But anyway, here's the rest of it.
Agreement, and it appears to be signed by Ms. Franke. Ms. Franke, did you sign this agreement?
Yes,
And you did that today? When did you sign it?
the 18th,
Okay. You've read it carefully?
every word.
Your signature represents to the court that you've read it carefully, that you understand what you've read, and that you agree to all of the terms. Is that all accurate?
Yes,
You've had sufficient time to ask questions of your counsel, to go over any questions you have. You're ready to go forward.
yes,
You don't need any more time.
I'm ready.
Ms. Franke, is anyone pressuring you to enter into this agreement?
No,
Anyone promising you anything I haven't been told about?
no,
Anything that's not in the written plea agreement?
no,
Are you under the influence of alcohol or drugs today?
no,
Is there anything today that could in any way interfere with your ability to understand the agreement, its consequences, anything?
no,
No physical condition, no medication, nothing?
no.
Any further record, counsel?
No, Your Honor.
So, you guys, I'm gonna stop it right there. This will be part 1 of part 2. So hold on, let me change that. Part 1 of part 2, and we'll finish the rest of it in part 2. But yeah, I want more details on Ruby Franke, so I'm gonna get the backstory on that. I hope y'all have a great day. Thank you all so much for listening to True Crime Stories, and see you next time for the second part.